Russell Banks, stalwart of the Irish startup community. Welcome to Irish Startup TV.
Thanks, Richie.
We're here at Dublin Beta, which is in the hangar in Andrews Lane, and the noise is just incredible. The atmosphere is just going off. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a boutique web summit.
A boutique web summit. That's a nice. I like that. It's a good compliment. Yeah. Well, you know, we've been running this now. It's our 15th Dublin Beta, over 3 years old. And what we really love about it is just that it's that energy. Like we target this event at really early stage startups. We even have startups here who only formed at the weekend at a FinTech Accelerator event, and it really gives people an opportunity to talk publicly about their ideas. They can be anywhere from, like I said, a PowerPoint presentation to a working prototype, and get some real feedback from either potential users, customers, students, VCs. Like, we get this really eclectic mix of people coming. Which I think is really great because it gives people a really early indicator of what's going right or potentially wrong with their startup. So we love it. We've done it for 3.5 years now. We love doing it. It's one of those easy things to do.
I think probably one of the most fantastic elements of this event is that it's very much a peer judged. It is a competition. There is a winner takes all. But it's a great opportunity to validate amongst peers and other members of the community.
Yeah, I mean, so what we do is at each event we basically give everybody who comes in gets 3 poker chips, which they can invest into any startup that they like in the event. So all the teams are encouraged to hustle. So we have 11 teams tonight hustling for those chips. The winner just basically gets, the People's Choice Award is what they get. But a very few interesting things have happened. Like I said, we have 50. This is our 15th event. I think the winners of 12 of those events have gone on to raise funding. And typically, a lot of the teams that you'd see in the ecosystem are doing reasonably well. People like NewsQuip, Kill Biller, good companies that are coming out of Dublin scene will have actually done their original kind of early stage pitches and stuff at Dublin Beta, and then gone on to bigger and better things. So I'm not saying obviously that it's because they're Dublin Beta they're successful.
Well, it says an awful lot about the community as being excellent to an excellent testbed and excellent at picking winners.
Well, that's always the curious thing to us, right? Because it's like it is such a mix of people. It isn't always like just startup people. It isn't always just investors. Like the people you would typically see at other events, like it is this very broad mix of people. So like even tonight's event, because the startup gathering is on during the week, I'd say it's 50% new people who've never been to the event before. So that's brilliant because they're coming from all sorts of different backgrounds, and they're just like, oh, we heard about this thing, we're kind of curious.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit more about the startup gathering. So it's a week-long event, 5 days, 5 cities.
That's basically it. So it's been headed up by the Startup Ireland team. So that's Owen Costello, Gene Murphy. They've been working on it for a year. They've great vision for trying to really showcase all the entrepreneurial activity around the country. So it's not just a Dublin event, like it's Dublin, Cork, Galway, Limerick and Waterford. And
opening up beyond just the startup community now, as you mentioned, to the general public.
Well, that's it. It's
raising that awareness.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's nearly 390, 400 events on over the week.
Wow.
Across the whole country. They range from meetups like this event to talks on investment, to all sorts of things. Real spotlights on those different cities, the activities in the communities. Who the people are, to really try and encourage that entrepreneurial drive. And one of the interesting things, like the Startup Ireland guys are behind it, people like Niamh Bushnell, the Commission for Startups are involved. But what's really interesting for me, really in the last year and a half, and probably very much directly related to the work that people like Owen and Niamh are doing, is that they've really started trying to make Dublin a proper entrepreneurial hub. They've really started pushing hard, like things like government at policy level, at budget. I've noticed like in the last 3 to 6 months, you hear politicians talking about how bad our tax regime is for investors, for entrepreneurs, how punitive our PRSI system is. I've been running my own businesses now for a couple of years.
Yeah, tell us about that. So, I mentioned already you're a stalwart of the community, and as far back as I can remember, you were there.
Yeah.
And you mentioned this event has been running for 3.5 years. What inspired you to start up?
So actually, myself, my other co-founder, a guy called John O'Rourke, and now Gene Murphy's involved as a co-producer as well for the last year and a bit. But like John and myself were working I was actually back in college full time and I was doing consulting work in a startup. John was an intern there, very energetic and just passionate, young, 21. And we just felt, just jumping back to like kind of the summer of 2012, I mean the Web Summit was brilliant and it was there, but it was like it was only on once a year. It was targeted at more mature companies. We just felt there was a gap. There wasn't a venue, and that's probably like a space for really early stage startups to get that validation stuff. you know, either you were part of an accelerator program and at the end you got to do a demo day, but there wasn't this kind of just consistent, you know what, if you're kind of early and you want to roll the dice, test the waters, there wasn't that space. And we fundamentally believed it should be cost neutral. So it should be free for the startups to demo, because startups don't have money. So we said, okay, well, we're not going to try and make money out of the startups. So that kind of instantly made us different to a lot of other events. And then we did charge at the door, because it's just the logic. Anybody who does events knows that if you don't charge anything, people just don't turn up. So it's a $5, it's a $10, it's not. And what we do with that money is, between that and any sponsorship we get, we just put behind the bar typically, or put it behind the bar for food.
Which won't last long in Ireland.
No, it doesn't last long. Like it lasted about an hour and a half here tonight, so that was pretty good.
No, that's really cool. A quick question as well. I don't want to ask you, have you had any favourites? But you mentioned Kill Biller and UseWhip as having gone on. Have you ever seen any shockers that you've kind of said, wow, I didn't see that coming?
Probably every time, I won't lie to you. Yeah, like one of the funny things is, because I'm typically front of house, so that's all going on back there, I don't typically get to hang around too much with the startups. So, but often, you know, the teams that'll win, we wouldn't have guessed that they're going to win, right? So we've given up a long time ago trying to guess what way the public are going to vote for these things. But
it's great. It really is an incredible atmosphere here this evening. It's probably, for me, it's one of the most energetic ones I've been to. I don't know if that's that I'm a little bit tired and I'm really being lifted up by the crowd. It's been a really interesting and long day for me.
Yeah.
No, but I think genuinely there's an incredible, the atmosphere is palpable as soon as you turn the corner off this grotty little lane into this, you know, mecca for startups in the centre of the city.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's good. And, you know, we actually have to say thanks to the hangar venue guys, because we used to hold this in a different venue, and then they changed management and they were dicks. So, you know, when they found out we were having trouble, they contacted us again, the old management from our previous venue. So they actually, as much as part of the families anyway, because they really help us, you know, they give us a lot of leeway for the venue.
It's a lovely feeling too. It's what people, I guess, expect as startups.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of, how can I describe it? Art Deco.
Yeah, you know, that hobo chic thing going on.
Hobo chic.
Yeah.
Okay, Russell, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Cheers,
Thanks so much for sharing the Dublin Beta story with us.
No worries. Thanks very much, man.
Thank you.
Take care.